Dear friends, today we are going to discuss about the prerequisites, in other words, the basic requirements for learning this SAP FI module. In our previous video, we have discussed about why to learn this SAP FI module and what are the advantages and what are the different reasons for learning and implementing this SAP FI module. Today, in this video, we are going to discuss very clearly about the basic requirements and prerequisites that has been recommended by SAP for learning this SAP FI module. Let us discuss each and everything in detail, because for learning any functional modules in SAP has recommended some of the basic requirements or some of the prerequisites before getting into the respective functional modules in SAP. In this scenario, we are going to discuss about different basic requirements and prerequisites that has been recommended by SAP for learning this entire end-to-end finance module. Now let us start discussing one by one. If any candidates are willing to take this SAP FI training, then they must have strong domain experience in the areas of finance, in the areas of financial accounting, or in the areas of general ledger accounting, or in the areas of handling different tax procedures for purchases and different tax procedures for sales. Similarly, they should be having very strong domain experience in handling the entire asset and depreciation accounting, and also they should have very strong experience in handling dunning proposals for customers and vendors as well. Similarly, if the consultants, if they are really interested to learn and implement this SAP FI module, then they should be having very strong domain knowledge and understanding of the end-to-end financial activities in accounts receivables, which is completely deals with customers, and also accounts payable, that is AP, which is going to handle the entire end-to-end vendor activities, that is vendor transactions. And similarly, they should have strong domain experience in balance sheet creation. They should have very strong understanding of different GL accounts, handling the different GL accounts, and also they should have very strong understanding and handling of the end-to-end reports using the different GL accounts, and also they should have very strong understanding of different GL accounts for asset and depreciation accounting. So these are all the prerequisites and requirements that has been recommended by SAP for all the consultants who are willing to learn this SAP Finance module. Only the consultants, those who are having the above discussed domain experience, then only they can be able to learn, then only they can be able to implement, then only they can be able to design, then only they can be able to execute, then only they can be able to support the end-to-end SAP Finance module in the real-time projects. So these are all the basic requirements or basic prerequisites for learning this complete end-to-end implementation of learning this SAP FI module. And without these prerequisites or without having domain experience in the above discussed areas, then it is very difficult for the consultants to learn. It is very difficult for the consultants to implement. It is very difficult for the consultants to design. It is very difficult for the consultant to support, and also it will be very difficult for the consultant to execute the entire end-to-end finance module for the organization. So in this video, we have discussed very clearly about the domain experience which is mandatory for learning this SAP FI module. Once if the consultants are very strong in the above discussed areas, then only they can be able to implement this SAP FI module successfully for an organization. So in this video, we have discussed very clearly about the domain experience required for learning this SAP FI module. Once again, we will discuss what are all the key domain experience that has been needed for learning this FI module. The first point is the consultants must have domain experience in the areas of finance, or in the areas of financial accounting, or in the areas of general ledger accounting, or in the areas of tax procedures for purchases, or handling the entire tax procedures for sales, that is output tax. And also they should have very strong domain experience in handling asset and depreciation accounting, and also they should have very strong domain experience in handling the complete dunning procedures or dunning proposals for customers and vendors which are coming under the end-to-end AR and AP processes. And also the consultants should have strong domain knowledge and understanding of the end-to-end financial activities in accounts receivable, AR and accounts payables AP processes, and also they should have strong domain experience in handling the entire balance sheet, and also they should have very strong domain experience in handling different GL accounts, and also they should have very strong domain experience in handling end-to-end reports using the GL accounts, and also they should have very strong domain experience in understanding different GL accounts that has been used for asset and depreciation accounting. So these are all the important areas for the consultants who are willing to learn this SAP Finance module. Only the consultants, if they possess the above discussed domain experience, then only they can be able to learn, then only they can be able to implement, then only they can be able to support, then only they can be able to design, then only they can be able to execute the entire end-to-end SAP FI module for an organization. And about myself, I have more than 20 plus years of experience in the industry. I have worked as a consultant, I have worked as a practice head, I have worked as a delivery head for many projects. I have involved in many implementation, production support, rollout and upgrade projects as well. And I have got more than 5 years of on-site experience in Middle East and Europe, handling both Middle East and European clients. Regarding my certification areas and interests, I have done my certification in finance. I have done my certification in business process planning and consolidation module. I have done my certification in S4HANA Simple Finance module. I have done my certification in S4HANA Simple Logistics module. I have done my certification in SAP S4HANA Central Finance module as well for my recent projects. And very recently, I have done my certification in SAP Business and Revenue Innovation Management module, that is SAP Hybris. So that's all about myself. So in this video, we have discussed very clearly about the basic requirements or prerequisites that has been recommended by SAP for learning this SAP FI module. Only if the consultants are having the domain experience of the above discussed areas, then only they can be able to implement, then only they can be able to support the entire end-to-end business processes in the FI module. In our next video, we will discuss about the ASAP methodology of implementation in SAP ECC system, as well as this SAP Activate methodology of implementation in SAP S4HANA. So the two different implementation concepts. While coming to ECC system, then we have to follow the ASAP methodology, that is accelerated SAP methodology. And if we are implementing HANA, S4HANA, then we have to use this SAP Activate methodology. So we will discuss each and everything in detail in our next video. Thank you.